Hey everyone, welcome to Transient. I'm Eitan Reiter, and today we're going to remake the classic Flat Beat by mr.oizo. How to make some really interesting sounds like this classic trademark bass line. Take a short hummus break with Eric, and of course stay tuned till the end to check out the full and accurate reproduction. So we're going to start with Eric's voice. First you want to get the MIDI notes right, and then I've used silent 1 and selected the most narrow pulse wave out of the three. The width of the pulse itself actually makes a big difference in the sound, and some synthesizers allow you to control it in a very accurate way. For example, the Korg MS-20, which was actually used in the production of this song. You just need to set the oscillator on pulse and then tweak the pulse width knob. The other main factor of this sound is the portamento time. For a deeper understanding, you can of course download all the presets in the link below. It's free. Next up is the main loop. It was actually sampled from a song from 1975. I've used this Who Sampled website and searched for Flat Beat. And once you find your song, it's time to sample it. Once it's sampled, you can of course change the speed and the tone until you get the right result. Then I've used some EQing and this plugin for a lo-fi feeling to make it sound as if it was actually sampled on vintage gear. The loop has got some very interesting and groovy drum transitions throughout the track itself, and making them require a little bit of editing. Next up is the kick drum. I've used Contact to emulate a 606 Roland drum machine. And then I've used the gate to make it just a bit shorter. Some EQing and saturation. And now it's time for the song's classic bass line. In order to get the characteristics of a Korg MS-20, I've used Diva, which allows you to select oscillators of various types of analog vintage synthesizers, and you can also do the same to the filters and the envelopes. And the other important thing here is that probably because it was recorded on some old synthesizer, the tune itself has to be tweaked, and you can do that easily with Diva. And this here is the right tuning for the track. And then all that's left to do is to use an LFO to control the cutoff itself and create that wobbly type of bass line. I've used a triangle shape because that's the same one that an MS-20 has. Then on some parts I've actually automated it. They probably just jammed on it and then sliced it and arranged it, but I've used this technique to reproduce it. After dealing with complex stuff, especially low frequencies, a short break can be very helpful, and then you can get back to the project and avoid making mixing mistakes. And back to the project. Next up is the snare drum. I've used the basic 808 snare. At some parts it's playing a straight rhythm, while other parts it's a bit more complex. Try moving a sample's starting point to affect the sound's character. Then I've used some compression, EQing, and this vintage tape plugin. For the hi-hats, I've used a simple 606 with this EQ to shape the high frequencies. There's also this shaker channel and an open hi-hat. And here's a fun trick. Not only the beginning, but also the timing of a sample's ending can be used to generate groove. And now, the main lead. This was by far the hardest one to come up with. It was reproduced from so many different channels, a lot of silent ones, and just some samples like this one with a bit of grain delay or different effects to make them sound more like the original. The main sound out of these layers is this serum which is basically based on a pitch envelope. But I've actually used the Serum's LFO for that, because it offers a lot more complexity than the regular envelope. Next up is this weird short FM stab. This one was reproduced using Operator, and you can hear each one of the voices and how they affect each other. Last is this weird reversed lead, which was also reproduced using Serum, and the pitch envelope was shaped using Serum's LFO. As I've mentioned before, you can make very complex shapes when you're using the LFO itself, and draw as many points as you need just to come up with any shape that you can imagine, unlike the regular envelopes. And then to make it steady, all you need to do is record that sound, and then you can edit it using audio, just like I did here. And now let's check out the full reproduction. Quick reminder, the project file and the sounds are available for free in the link below. If there's a song you'd like us to remake or a technique you'd like to learn, please let us know in the comment section below. For more videos like this one, subscribe to our channel. See you next time.